questions. Yeah.
No.
Oh, that's too bad. That's too bad. Well, we'll just give the sound guys a couple of seconds to figure that one out. But maybe you guys up in front will be able to hear something. Okay, so how are you feeling, Alicia?
I'm good. Oh my God.
Oh,
It's amazing to see. Look how many people turned up. And me? Why? You guys are so sweet. Thank you so much.
And
Thank you.
Really?
There's still people outside who couldn't get in because we don't get in. So, how are you finding it so far?
Great. This is like an amazing experience. Everyone has been so lovely. I've received presents. I didn't think I was going to get
I
presents.
saw your presents upstairs. You got a lot of presents.
A lot.
Wow.
Flowers. I got a squid with a... that was with space print on it. There's one way to combine those two. I did not think it could be like that. It was great.
Have you done any sightseeing?
No, not really. Because I got in last night.
Oh.
And then I went out to a restaurant though in the meatpacking district, and that was great. And it's such a lovely just environment. You can hear people ride bikes, and it's nice and kind of crisp and cool. I'm living in LA, so it's always just the same sort of temperature, really warm and sunny, which is lovely, but it's nice to kind of come here.
You get tired of the warmth?
What I miss thunderstorms. In Sydney, we used to get like a lot of afternoon thunderstorms and rain, and I miss that so much. I do find in LA sometimes it's like almost the same day, sometimes over and over again, because there's no weather change. It's like, it's just like this cartoon weather.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I was there recently.
Right.
Right. So, I know a lot of you guys want to ask Alicia some questions, and we have a microphone for that lined up in the middle by the lovely young man with the hat. So, if you want to ask Alicia questions, please get up and stand in line by the microphone, and do it like 10 and then when there's room, you guys can go up.
Run. Oh, don't actually go yourself. Oh my God, you're so cute.
People at a time standing in line, okay? So, okay guys, so when you see there's room in line, you can go up and get there. You can ask your questions in English or Danish. I'll be able to translate.
Por Spanish.
You don't know what English is.
Y en español.
Or in basic Spanish, and I probably still won't know.
No hablo español.
I can do that.
Hola, Alicia.
Hola.
Okay, so why don't we get to it, man? We have a tight schedule. So please, you have one question, so go ahead.
Does it work? Oh my God, you're real?
Hi. I think so.
Hi, Alicia.
Hi.
I'm Ina from Paraguay, South America.
Lovely to meet you.
I just wanted to know, what's the most interesting thing that you've ever read or heard about yourself that it isn't true?
That isn't true?
Interviews or Wikipedia or something.
To be honest,
I got you, Nara.
someone once showed me on Wikipedia. I went to Tulum recently, and then someone had written into the Wikipedia article that I founded Tulum somewhere, and I was like, where and how did that get in there? So that was probably the funniest and most bizarre. Obviously not true.
Thank you very much, Alicia.
Quite obviously, but I mean, I'll take it anyway. Sure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, and you, next question.
Hi, Alicia. I'm Noemi.
Hi.
First of all, I wanted to say thank you for coming here, because as you can see, all Europe and even America is here. So we wanted to meet you so much. So thank you for coming. Thank you.
Thank you guys for purchasing a ticket. I know I don't do this very often, so thanks for coming out.
So artist. I'm 23, just like you. I'm a med student, and sometimes it's hard to get focused. And you had your dream. You went to America from Australia. You are so focused, so you can do so many things. Ow!
Well, I think it's hard. It's taken a long time.
Yeah.
I started when I was really young, and I think it's really easy to see from this perspective now how, you know, maybe it's going so well, or it's like I've reached some level of success, and that must be it must be easier for me somehow. But to be honest, it's been a long journey, and it's only still going. There's no end point. And also I have so many people that help me out all the time. You know, I do events like this, and I have, you know, manager that comes along with me, and I have my whole team that really makes sure that I'm well looked after and helped. So it's definitely nowhere near as seamless for just anyone. Of course, you have a lot of help, but then yeah, I think it's something I knew I wanted to do when I was really young, and I happen to have a very determined, driven, kind of just natural being, I guess. So it's just been the thing that I've loved doing. And I know for a lot of people it takes them some time to figure out, you know, what you love. But I think that's the main important detail, is that if you can find something that you really love doing, that you're passionate about, and that you want to grow and learn from, that's really what the success is. It's not any end goal. So in a very long, arduous explanation, I guess, that helped.
Thank you for being so inspiring.
Oh, thanks.
Hey, it's so nice having you here. I'm Rebecca from Brazil.
And Rebecca.
Just a simple question. You can see me, right?
I can what?
See me.
I can see you, yeah. It's kind of like the stage lights are a little...
So could you just read my t-shirt?
Oh wait, no, I can't see that. Alexa, deserve. Got a complicated question there. It's so... I never expected the level of importance around this event that occurred with Lexa. I don't think anyone did, because it never intended to hurt anyone, of course. And I think it's important that it happened because it shone a spotlight onto an issue that obviously exists and obviously affected a lot of people, and that's really important to acknowledge. But it suddenly placed me in the center of as a representative for something that I never didn't know that if I had the voice for, or if I had the right to speak about. And so it was a really kind of a difficult thing to figure out how to talk about it and how to say it. And of course, we all on the show loved Lexa, and I know there was a lot of hatred that appeared out of feeling betrayed by certain individuals. Never meant to be like that, and I don't condone that kind of hatred. I really don't. I think that it's a shame that it happened, but I also, you know, I'm going on my own journey, and I'm still learning as an actress and growing and wanting to do new opportunities and try and, you know, explore myself. So it's such a multifaceted question and situation. But the fact that that character had such an impact on everyone and stood for something so beautiful and was such an exceptional character, that I think is the core of it all. And and that, you know, love is love, and that's just it. Rambling so much.
Love is love.
Love is
Love is love. Okay, go ahead.
Hello, Alycia. Hi. My name is Christina. I'm from Estonia, and my question is, you have played amazing roles in 2 TV series about apocalypse, one about the radiation, another one about zombies. And my question is, what kind of apocalypse would you prefer for this? Even though it's horrible.
It's gonna be apocalypse.
If I had to live in the zombie world or the radiation world, who am I if I'm in the radiation world? Do I get to be a grounder, or am I like, or am I Alexa? Well, if I'm Alexa, then yeah, I'm that's a hard one. Sorry, the 100's pretty brutal.
Sorry.
Maybe the zombies only because you still have access to normal things. You know, like regular clothes. Like if I was in the 100 world and they were like, you need to make a fire, I'd be like, oh, good luck. I don't know how to do that, so ride this horse. No.
You're Heather, you don't need to make
But
fire.
that's true, if I'm Lex, then I can do it.
Thank you.
Okay. There you go. You go ahead.
Hi, my name is Tonya. I'm from Russia. Great to see you here. I hope you like this city. Hi from every Ukrainian and Russian fans who is not here today and who is here today too. My question is, can you say a few words about coming up projects? It was really great to see you on big screen in friend request. Maybe some new movies or something.
Yeah, I've got a couple of projects that I'm trying to fit in between scheduling. That's mainly the main issue, is always trying to just fit things in with scheduling. But that's films are definitely something that I want to pursue and be more a part of. That's kind of what I fell in love with this industry in the first place, is filmmaking. So without a doubt, that's the landscape I want to continue forward into.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Sorry, it was really serious.
I just want to know, how many of you guys are not from Denmark?
But everyone in Denmark is like, who is this chick?
Not at all, not at all. Trust me.
Thanks,
we
guys.
know. Okay, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Rosa. I'm from Finland, and I've been told to ask you very passionately from someone, what is your favourite Taylor Swift song?
My favorite Taylor Swift song? Ooh, I'm not the ultimate, like I'm totally, like I know Taylor Swift songs and I know them because of the radio. I don't have her albums. I don't like, she's not like a artist like I listen to, if you know what I mean. But I like Taylor Swift. Well, it's not like getting me crazy. I don't want to know. But I like that one. That's the on a Wednesday in a cafe. That one. What's the Begin Again? I like that one. And then yeah, I like that one.
That's the only one I know.
And also, there's a friend of mine who I'm with here today, and she wasn't able to get your wasn't able to get the picture taken with you, or her signature. And it's her birthday today. Her name is Daniela, and she's sitting right there. And I think she'd love it if you say happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Daniela! How old are you today?
Happy birthday!
She's 23.
You're 23? Good wife. You made it. You and I both.
Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Emma from Spain, and I think this question, a lot of people want to ask this, so I don't know if you're gonna answer it.
When will you give Elisa permission to...
Eliza!
Upload the magazine.
Wait, I can't hear it. Everyone, wait, hang on. I cannot hear what she's saying.
When will you give Elisa permission to upload the behind-the-scenes picture?
No, it's coming from all directions. I have heard about this. I feel like it's probably better in your heads than in reality. I'm trying to... Does she have it?
Yes.
So I have to give her the permission.
Yes.
Situation here?
Yes.
I can't even remember what the photo looks like. I actually have to see what the photo is. I should text Eliza and be like, what is this photo? Maybe. If I see the photo and I'm like, yeah, okay, then maybe. We'll see.
Thank you. Okay, go ahead.
Hi.
And so I wanted to know if you could choose any directors to work with in the future and any kind of movies, what would you like to do in the future?
Good question. My answers often change on a daily basis. Who I just feel like on that particular day. I mean, I have so many favorite directors. It's really hard to pick one. Like obviously, Steven Spielberg is like a mastermind. So like if I ever had a chance to work with him, like that would be incredible. But like you know, Scorsese, like I watched Goodfellas recently, and I was just blown away by how amazing that film is. Again, there are so many on any given day that I watch movies and I'm like, no, that would be an incredible director to work with. But it's also there are so many new directors and yeah. So right now, oh, and like Tarantino, like how great would that be? Like there are too many. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Hello, I'm
Hi.
Margo from Poland. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a bit nervous, I'm going to read the question from the phone. In the interviews, you often give very thoughtful responses about Alicia's life before the show, before The Walking Dead. And it really enriched how I perceive her character. Like, I think I understand her better because how you painted her, like, also behind the scenes and in the interviews. And I was wondering if you create such elaborate backstories to all the characters that you play. And specifically, do you have your own headcanons or your own ideas about like maybe how Lexa's life looked before the show, like how she became the commander, how her family looked like, all these kinds of things. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, great questions. Yeah, I definitely do. And I think that's what's part of this job that's so fun and exciting is building a backstory and a psychology of why this person does what they do and why they are the way they are. That's so much fun of it. With Lexa, it was hard because we were filming so quickly and there was such a dense amount of information in each episode that I was learning about the language or the tattoos or what they meant. And in hindsight, I would have loved to be able to had more of that knowledge previously, so I could understand it better. Because even in things like weapon training, when we were learning this fight choreography, suddenly this is, you know, training that she would have done as a child and how well she would have adapted to. I remember seeing this photo and I was thinking about it later, thinking, oh, why is my arms like this? Like if it was in reality, it would be so much stronger and she would be holding it up, or bizarre little things, because you do start to realize how dense person's experiences in life are. And so with Lexa, that was hard, especially the meaning behind words, the accent that everyone had in the Grounders. Because I remember we were all talking about it, Ricky, me, I can't remember who else, but we all had kind of different accents as Grounders, and we were like, is it bad that you kind of sound African and I sound like weirdly like Caribbean? Because we wanted to develop some sort of uniform idea, but we just shoot so fast and there's so much new material and new information, so that's sort of hard. But with Alycia, that's something I really carefully, I learned that from The 100, and I tried to carefully figure her out as a person, and I found the hardest thing was creating her as a teenager and letting her be a teenager, because I know for a lot of people that was a criticism that they found annoying about the character, but I liked being able to let her be that, I guess. And then still go through really reasonable difficulties and challenges, but still, I don't know, have a sassiness to her. Yeah, it's hard. It changes all the time as well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right,
Hello.
go ahead.
My name is Thea, I'm from Norway, and I just want to say you look beautiful today.
Oh,
thanks. So many of us.
You should have seen me trying to get ready.
Yeah, so many of us is just heartbroken for not being able to get a picture today.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I just want to ask, because you've played a few characters now, and I want to know which character has given you the most as a private person, and why?
Out of all the characters I've ever played?
Yeah.
The most the first film I ever did, when I did Martha's New Coat, that character, I was really young, but it was something, for some reason, that made me go, I gained the most from that as a private person, because I had a revelation as a person. I was realizing what I loved about it and why I loved this job, and this world, and the people around me. They all had the same sort of mind frame. So that was probably it was a catalyst. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So what's your name?
My name is Nina and I'm from Sweden.
Go ahead, Nina.
You talked a little bit earlier how you learned a different language in the 100. I was just wondering how the process of that took place. If it's hard, because you have to know what everyone is saying while you remember your own line, because it seems like another language it's made it hard because you haven't heard it.
It's really hard. That's definitely one of the challenges I've had with this job. We got sound bites that were sent to us from the creator of the language. He would read it on an MP3, send it to us with the phonetic translation and then also the written words. And I would have to just sit there for a couple of hours going over this gibberish dialogue. And the hardest part about it really is doing the A-B dialogue with someone else, because sometimes you don't know what they're saying, so you can kind of, and you also don't really know what you're saying, like you're saying these words, but it wasn't until a lot later could we identify as like, oh, this means that, or some words started to become, you could slip them in a little bit easier knowing that it kind of made sense, but it's not like I learned that language because we were using really bizarre sentences, like, go kill the guard, like, it's not like, I like purple, it was a weird thing, but, yeah, it's hard to do it with someone else in a scene, because sometimes you would just think, you wouldn't know if it was your time to speak, and then you wouldn't know what to say, because their gibberish suddenly was not right with your gibberish, and you kind of do have to remember it, because if you don't remember anything, then nothing comes out, and then it doesn't sound like the right kind of gibberish, if you know what I mean. There's this hilarious YouTube video, you guys should check it out. It's what English gibberish would sound like to someone, and it's this Italian music video where they basically are just singing in English gibberish, so it sounds what I imagine English would sound like to someone who doesn't speak English. But it's really bizarre because they're not words. And so, I mean, yeah, you guys probably all speak a billion languages between the 1,000 of you.
Can you say something in grounded?
Pardon?
Can you say something in grounded?
Grounder? Oh God.
Yes,
I don't
please.
remember any of it now.
Oh, come on.
I don't remember any of it.
Blood must has blood.
But yeah, so that's the answer to your question.
Thank you so much.
Hello, go ahead.
Hello, I'm Marty from England, and I was just wondering what was the best experience that you took away from playing Alycia?
The best experience was so many. I mean, it was great. Just doing all that fight training was so awesome. And doing that main fight was the best fun. We filmed that over an entire day, and it was really hard, but you feel really good afterwards because you feel like you've accomplished something and learned something. But that whole the 100 was really, it's a hard-working show. Everyone works really hard on it and loves doing it. And I think you guys probably know that from all the actors on the show. They're all so hard-working and lovely and supportive of one another. And I think it just really shows, including the cast, the crew and the writers, producers. Like, everyone works really hard for it. And so every day on that set, it's just that support. It makes it a good experience. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Christine from Hungary. I'd just like to say something first, if I can. It's going to sound weird, but please don't judge. I was kind of there to ask you to say it. So, can you say cowbell?
Cowbell? Cowbell? Why?
It's an inside joke.
Okay. Wow. That's so random.
Sorry about that.
No, I have no problems with it at all.
What, did you win a bet just now?
Did you win a bet? Did you win money?
I might get paid, actually. Collect from everyone.
Okay,
what did you lose?
I'm here, I'm already winning.
I mean, if I great, but...
What's your question?
My question is, how would you feel about playing a villain? Like, would you like to play a villain someday?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Villains are great characters. I mean, but Lexa, I feel like, you know, started out as a bit of a villain and kind of went in between and was and then wasn't. But that's what I think all those characters are. It's rare that you get a character where you're like, this character is truly a villain. And I think it must be different for every actor, but you often try and sympathize with that your character. So while they may be a villain in everyone else's eyes, they're not necessarily to yours. But in terms of a quintessential villain, absolutely, would love to.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Hello.
Hi.
I'm Reggie, and I'm from here from Copenhagen.
You're the only one here.
Actually, wasn't what I was
true.
saying. I'm here with my crew today.
Yeah!
We made shirts with the war paint on it and the rainbow. I don't know if you can see it because it's very far away.
So cool. I can't really see it, but from what I can see, it looks awesome.
It's like a shirt thing. Because first of all, we just wanted to say thank you, all of us, for playing Alexa, because that character meant so much to so many people. You already said that earlier, but it meant so much to us as well. So thank you. And I wanted to ask if you ship Alexa as much as Eliza does.
If I ship
as much as she does, because Eliza is very...
Oh yeah. Alexa and Clark, I mean, yeah, that makes so much sense. It's a shame what happened because it would have been great, but no, I think it's it's you don't get to see it as often as well, and it was such a. I think what was great about it. It was never poised to be something. It was never, you know, stated beforehand. This character is, you know, is this sexual orientation. It was just there in the script, and
that's why it was so natural.
Yeah, and I think. Yeah, so it's nice to see that on TV, and especially for the, you know, Eliza being the lead of the show. Mm-hmm. That's a really culturally important part of our generation, I think. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Does Eliza ship it a lot?
Yes!
I mean, of course.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm short. You was from Norway this time and have really awesome everything. My question is, if you got the chance in the future to play Alexa again for a prequel to the show or something, would you do it?
No, I think it's more just what, if we're talking in reality, it would be just, like, obviously, right now I'm on another show, and that's what I'm doing now. But in terms of, like, if this, you know, was ever to become something else, and it like, I've been asked questions like, what if this was made into a movie, and, you know, like, you know, but I mean, that's just a hypothetical question, obviously, but it's like, I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's such an important character. It'd be funny to see someone else play it, but it's not like that's not something that's, you know, ever, no one's posed that. I mean, they're still filming the show, and I'm filming my show. Yeah.
I'm sorry, but you are the only Lexa.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, you, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Antonia from Finland, and I wanted to know what inspired your love for squids?
For squids? That one's been taken way out of my life. I didn't realize how big a thing that would become. It wasn't really that. I don't know if it was that much to start off with. It's just that it's Maya's fault, really. if I'm being quite honest. And I remember her tweet. I think it was originally when I got Twitter, and I didn't know and still don't really know how to use it. And I just started following, because all I follow on Twitter is like news and things I'm interested kind of in. But yeah, so I started doing that, and she was pissed off that I didn't follow her, and I was like, well, I wasn't thinking about it. I didn't know how to use Twitter. And so I think she brought up this squid thing. But really, I think I was just watching a documentary about them. And she thought that was particularly strange. But I mean, I was just sitting there, minding my own business. I mean, I am. I think the giant squid is amazing. I think that's the coolest, weirdest creature of the deep. And like, if I ever saw one, I'd be like, what? But I wouldn't say it's my spirit animal.
What is your spirit?
Spirit animal? I also don't know that yet. It's not a raccoon. I'm not sure. I'll get back to you on that one.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. You, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Matthias, and I'm also from Denmark.
You're bigger than I am here.
I love all of your work, and I look so much forward to your upcoming movies and series. I think we all do, I speak for all of us. But I was just wondering, because I'm going to Vancouver, and I know that they have a wonderful nature over there.
Yeah.
What your favorite scenes were shooting over there?
My favorite scenes?
Yeah, your favorite locations.
Favorite locations?
Yeah.
There's this, I think it's called, there's a bay there that you can go to in summertime. And of course now I can't remember the name of it, but it's this beautiful beach on the other side of the bridge, and it's secluded. Just ask what the beach is and everyone will tell you it's the same one. But of course now it's going to be cold there, so...
I was also thinking about when you filmed, like on set, what was your favorite
Oh, what was my favorite thing to shoot there? Well, it's funny, we shoot in the same forest, but they make it look like a billion different places, but it's just like the one spot of land. It's like the same 7 trees. They just make it look really different. But there was one day when it was snowing in that forest, and that was beautiful. I don't see snow that often, so it was such a lovely winter wonderland. But we've also shot in like, I didn't shoot there, but there's a giant sandpit that they make to look like the desert, and that's really cool as well. It looks totally different in real life. And yeah, I mean, Vancouver's beautiful though. There's so much beauty in that area of the world.
And thank you so much for coming.
Enjoy Vancouver, but see this thing, I have more food suggestions than like sushi. I'd say go to Shizenya, it's really good sushi.
Thank you so much. Do they serve squid?
Is squid calamari? Yeah, they're probably.
Okay,
it's like brown rice sushi, it's really yummy.
I'm very sorry, but time is short and we got started a little late. Okay, we only have time for one more question. So please, go ahead. I'm very sorry, but you'll be here tomorrow as well.
I am here tomorrow.
Yes. So you, go ahead. What is your question?
I'm Ophelie, and thank you. My question is, do you personally feel closer to Alycia or Alисия Кларk?
Different elements of both, to be honest. There's a part of Lexa that is in me, but I don't get to, exercise that same sort of strength or I don't know, like in my day-to-day life. But with Alycia, it is a lot closer to a normal person. So I guess, to be honest, there are so many different elements of the two that I find are quite personally connected to me.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you guys so much for all your before we have to go, we actually have a surprise for you. Because a group of fans, they actually have a present for you to be presented here on stage. Wow, this is from these wonderful people down here. Wow, they look great.
Beautiful, thank you so much.
Thank you guys. And now, I'm afraid time is up, but guys, please stay seated. Please sit down. Please don't go anywhere yet. Stay seated. Because, you can actually, yeah, because Alycia needs to go out and, give her a round of applause.
Yeah, stand up.
You need to put it on Twitter.